Good evening, little birds. Welcome to the library. Tonight, we turn to the master of the macabre himself, Edgar Allan Poe, a man who gave us ravens and red deaths, haunted chambers, and telltale hearts. But there is one tale stranger than any he ever wrote, a mystery that lingers in shadows to this very day. I'm Caspian Crow, and this is the true tale of Edgar Allan Poe's death. Poe was born in 1809, and from the very beginning, tragedy was his constant companion. His father vanished, his mother died before he was 3, and grief haunted him for the rest of his life. Yet from sorrow, he wove brilliance. His pen gave rise to the detective story, perfected the gothic short tale, and etched nightmares into the American imagination. He lived many places: New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore. But Richmond, Virginia was truly his home. It was here he grew up, fell in love, and first dreamed of being a poet. Richmond claimed him in life, and Richmond claims him still. That being said, it is Baltimore that claims him in death. On October 3rd, 1849, in Baltimore, Election Day dawned. That morning, Edgar Allan Poe was found outside a polling place, delirious, incoherent, and dressed in clothes that were not his own. Ill-fitting, shabby garments, nothing like what he was known to wear. He was carried to Washington Medical College, where he lingered in agony for 4 long days. Sometimes conscious, sometimes raving, never well enough to explain what had truly happened. The night before his death, he called out one word: Reynolds. Who Reynolds was, no one knows. A friend? An enemy? A fevered hallucination? His lips gave no further answer, and on October 7th, at 5 a.m, Edgar Allan Poe spoke his final plea: Lord, help my poor soul. And then, silence. No medical record of his passing survives. His physician's notes are lost. His death certificate vanished. All that remains are brief reports in newspapers, which talked up his death to congestion of the brain, a phrase as vague as it is unhelpful. And so, mystery filled the void. In the years that followed, countless theories were put forth. Some swore it was alcohol. Others claimed heart disease, epilepsy, or even syphilis. Modern scholars have pointed to meningitis, rabies, or even carbon monoxide poisoning. But perhaps the most chilling theory, and the one this humble storyteller believes, is that Poe was a victim of cooping. Cooping was a brutal form of voter fraud, where gangs kidnapped strangers, beat them or drugged them, forced them into disguises, and marched them to vote again and again. And it so happens that Baltimore was notorious for it. Now, consider, Poe was found outside a polling place on Election Day, in another man's clothes. Coincidence or conspiracy? We may never know. Poe's trials did not end with death. His bitter rival, Rufus Wilmot Griswold, wasted no time. Under a false name, he penned a vicious obituary, branding Poe a drunkard, a madman, a villain. And, by curious twists of fate, Griswold became Poe's literary executor, editing collections of his works while filling the prefaces with lies. Yet, in trying to bury him, Griswold only ensured Poe's immortality. The scandal drew readers. Sales of Poe's works soared, spreading across America and Europe, while Griswold himself was soon forgotten. Poe's words endured, more powerful than slander, more lasting than spite. One final fascinating note. Richmond may claim him as her son, but Poe's shadow stretches far beyond Virginia. In Baltimore, for decades after his death, an anonymous figure known only as the Poe Toaster came each year on his birthday. Dressed in black, with wide-brimmed hat and white scarf, they would slip to Poe's grave in the dead of night, leaving 3 red roses and a bottle of cognac. No one knows who they were or why they came, but the gesture stands as proof. Poe is not forgotten. His mystery continues to inspire, to haunt, to live. His shadow persists, much like the shadow cast in the last passage of his most famous work. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Thank you for joining me in the library, little birds. I'm Caspian Crow, and I bid you good reading.